Today we're going to do kind of a hodgepodge of things that are related to what we've been doing lately with parallel lines, perpendicular lines, finding missing angles, all that good stuff. These first two problems, we are going to be looking at a diagram and deciding what we can tell for sure based only off what we can see in the picture. Are any of the lines in the picture parallel? The last one we're going to look at, we're going to find all of the unknown angle measures. So that means find the angle measure of anything that doesn't already have one clearly written in terms of degrees. So basically all the ones in red. Let's start here with the seeing if lines are parallel. So your eyes might be looking at this picture, maybe a better picture because Mrs. Avers is not the best artist, and being thinking, yeah, it looks like maybe like A is parallel to B, C and D look like they could be parallel. Don't trust your eyes. You need to trust only the information that's given to you. The only information they've given us is that this angle right here is a right angle, this angle right here is a right angle. We know right angles add up to 90 degrees. So this is definitely 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees. Okay. What other angles can we tell for sure? Well, we know that vertical angles are always congruent. So the vertical angle with this right angle right here is this angle right here. So that's going to be right angle by vertical angles. Likewise, the vertical angle with my other right angle is right here. So this angle is also right angle. What else can we say? We know that linear pairs have to add up to 180. Since this is a 90-degree angle, this other angle right here that makes a linear pair with it is also a 90-degree angle. Going in the other direction, this right angle and this one right here make a linear pair as well. This one is also a right angle. Or you could argue that from vertical angles there as well. I can do similar things here. This 90-degree angle is a linear pair with this angle right here. 180 minus 90 is 90, so this is going to be 90. Likewise, it's a linear pair with this angle right here. 180 minus 90 is 90, so this angle right here will also be a right angle. Since we don't know for sure whether or not A and B are parallel or C and D are parallel, I can't use things like alternate interior, alternate exterior, etc., etc. And I don't have any of those relationships going on here. Like for instance, if I look at this green angle and this green angle, they are not alternate interior, alternate exterior, any of those sort of fancy angles that we're used to. So since I don't have any of those relationships going on, I can't use the converses of those theorems either. I can't say anything for sure here. And so since I don't know for sure if A is parallel to B or C is parallel to D, none of the lines are necessarily parallel. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes they don't give you enough information to say, yes, they're parallel. You couldn't do a proof that anything here was parallel. Let's try another one. So I have a right angle here. I have a right angle here. Right angles are always congruent to each other. So this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees. 90 plus 90 gives me 180 degrees. So I have these are consecutive interior angles. Consecutive interior angles, when they are supplementary or add to 180, make the two lines parallel. So by consecutive interior angles converse, I write that down because it's kind of a mouthful. Interior angles converse. By the converse of that theorem, what that theorem says is if the consecutive interior angles are supplementary, add up to 180, then the two lines are parallel. So by using that consecutive interior angles converse theorem, I can say that B is parallel to C. Remember that that symbol there means parallel. So I did have enough information there to make that conclusion based off of a theorem that we've done before. All right, last one that we're going to look at for today. We have this lovely diagram. We need to find all of the red angles, so everything that's not clearly marked with number and degrees. You can kind of start wherever you would like here. And just like with these last ones, I know because I drew this, it's maybe not the best to scale thing ever. So even though you might think an angle looks like a certain measure based off a picture, don't draw that conclusion. Use the stuff that's marked in to make those decisions. I'm going to start with the obvious one, which is angle 3. Angle 3 is a right angle. All right angles are 90 degrees. So measured angle 3 is going to be 90 degrees because it's a right angle. From there, Angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles. Vertical angles are always congruent, so since angle 3 is 90 degrees, angle 1 is also 90 degrees. Okay. Let's kind of, I think for the rest of these we can kind of work our way around clockwise. So we have 90, we have 60, we have this angle 2 here. Since this angle is 90, these two together need to add up to 90 degrees because this angle here and this bigger angle made up to 60 degrees, and angle 2 form a linear pair. Linear pairs have to add up to 180. So to find measure of angle 3, measure of angle 2, this angle right here, I'm going to do 90 minus 60, and I get 30 degrees. So measure of angle 2 is 30 degrees because 90 and then these two together need to add up to 180 because they form a linear pair. Alrighty, what else can we say? Well, since I know that angle 2 is angle 2 is 30 degrees, angle 2 is vertical angles with angle 5, so these two are going to be congruent. So measure of angle 5 is also going to be 30 degrees. That means we've found everything now except for angle 4. I'm going to write that in just so we remember. So sort of like how we found measure of angle 2, angle 1, which is 90, and then the rest of these three angles together have to add up to 90 because 90 plus 190 gives me 180. Angle 1 and 40 degrees and 4 make a linear pair. So for angle 4, I'm going to do this in a different color. I am thinking 90 minus the stuff I know. If I do 90 minus 30 minus 40, I get 20 degrees. So measured angle 4 is 20 degrees. You could probably go about these in a slightly different order or use slightly different logic, but as long as you end up with all of these angle measures, you are good to go. That is it for today's video. Have a fantastic day.